The number of Christians all over the world is increasing from 2.2 billion in 2010 to 2.6 billion in 2025. The contrast of this analogy is that as the number of Christians are increasing, the number of genuine churches are decreasing. The number of genuine Christians with the right doctrine are decreasing. And this is caused by the rising number of ill-fated pastors who have sworn to continue to deceive people in order to exploit them. All they do, they keep on preaching, they say they do, and never give opportunity for their members or the people in their congregation or worship center to ask questions. They don't want you to ask questions because they don't want you to understand. They don't want you to understand in order to know the truth. It is when you ask questions to understand, to know the truth, that is when the truth will set you free. They don't want that. They want you to remain under that deception for them to continue to exploit you. That is why if you go to a church and you are not given the opportunity, or there are no opportunity for you to ask questions in things bothering you spiritually or in the Bible, you have to leave. Or you're in the church, you can't ask questions because you have the fear or there's possibility that you'll be criticized. You have to leave. That church, that congregation is not good for your spiritual growth. A good teacher once said that if you are teaching a group of people and at the end of the teaching no one asks a question, it means that none of them do understand what you taught. And that is what is happening in the churches in Christendom today. Pastors keep on preaching in order to deceive people, never giving the opportunity to their members or people in their churches to ask questions for them to really understand and grow. They want them to continue to remain in that dullness of deception that will enable them to continue to exploit them forever. I'm happy recently that most people are now aware of this. But however, it has resulted to a state of which I don't really appreciate, where most people are now aware of these issues. They are now flabbergasted to the extent that they do go publicly to insult those pastors. It is not that they do it just doing its sake. They are flabbergasted because they just realize that over the years they have been deceived. They have wasted their years in teaching them or making them to operate a wrong doctrines, a wrong interpretation of the Bible. That is why these days these guys go online and they don't care who the man or who is the pastor is, how old he is. They just go and blast them. They just go and throw insult on them. You cannot really blame these guys on doing such things. It's because you really can't assess the damage they have encountered or have experienced from such deceptive messages, doctrine for over years, even some decades, that may have destroyed their life in one way or the other. That is why it is good, as you are hearing this today, try to go to church to ask questions. Tell your pastors to create avenue where you can ask questions. These questions will make you know the truth, and the truth will set you free. It will help you grow spiritually. It will increase your knowledge in the Bible, widen your horizon, and enlighten your mind.